I think whenever, we're about to enter a new stage of our lives, right? We sort of become hyper fixated in what we endeavor to achieve, right? We become sort of hyper fixated on our goals, on our ambitions, on the things that we truly desire, right? And this is not to say, sort of being locked in on your mission, locked in on your goals and the things that you want to achieve is a bad thing. I, for one, I have things that I really want to achieve in this stage of my life, right? But I think in focusing solely on what we endeavor to gain, we never really stop and ask ourselves a very important question. And that question is, what are we willing to lose? Who are we willing to lose? Who and what are we willing to lose to heal? Who and what are we willing to lose to grow? Who and what are we willing to lose in order for us to step into this new stage of our lives and truly flourish, right? We never really stop to ask ourselves that question, right? I'm about to enter a new stage of my life, right? In 2 months or less, I'm going to be 25, right? I feel like 25 is is sort of an odd year. It's kind of like, you're no longer a youngin. You can't really say you're a youngin anymore, a YN, if you want to say that. But you're not necessarily old as well, right? So you're sort of a transition phase at 25. And it's really kind of scary, right? At least for me, it's kind of scary because just the other day, I felt like I was 20 or 18 or, so on and so forth. But I'm about to enter a new stage of my life, right? And, I reflected on this past year, I reflected on 24. And I commended myself and I showed appreciation for, the growth that I made this year. But then I really had to look myself in the mirror. I really had to look at myself in the mirror and self-reflect and really sort of acknowledge where I fell short. I really had to acknowledge my shortcomings, the things that I needed to improve on, and especially the things that I needed to let go, right? And I really had to say to myself, it is time to let go. It is time to let them go if I truly want to flourish in this new stage of my life. I had to be honest with myself and truly say that to myself, right? And I think something that I had to realize at some point as I got older is that the same soil that kept you stagnant, or the same soil that kept me stagnant, let me speak for myself, cannot be the same soil that nourishes my new growth, right? I am going to need new soil. And that means that I might have to let go of toxic relationships, toxic friendships, even toxic family members who keep me in a cycle of hating myself and hating the person that I see in the mirror, right? Or I had to let go of certain habits and certain patterns that truly kept me stagnant in my life and kept me sort of in this perpetual state of stagnation, right? Or I had to let go of certain stories and old narratives and negative thoughts that I kept holding on to. But whatever it is that I was holding on to that was keeping me stuck in my life, keeping me stagnant, keeping me hating the person that I see in the mirror, I had to recognize that I had to let them go. And I think quite often we sort of try to go into a new stage of our lives and build and, achieve this, achieve that, get this new goal, get this, get that, right? And we never truly bring ourselves to focus on the things that are pulling us back. You can sort of add on all you want and get this and get that. But at the end of the day, if the foundation is not solid, if the foundation isn't set, all you're doing is keeping yourself in a state of stagnation. Because before you know it, everything that you build is going to crumble, right? Whenever you're building, the foundation has to be solid. And if you don't have solid people around you, if your habits are not solid, if the stories that you keep telling yourself aren't solid and positive, then no matter what it is that you strive to achieve, no matter what it is that you endeavor to gain, it is going to be meaningless. You have to let go. You have to let go of the things that don't serve you. You have to let go of the things that keep you stagnant. You have to let go of the things that keep you questioning and hating yourself. You have to let them go. Not everything can come with you. Not everyone can come with you, right? To enter into a new stage of your life and truly flourish, truly grow, truly heal, you have to let go. Quite often, even as it pertains to our healing, right? We can't even fully heal simply because of the people that we continue to keep in our lives. We can't truly grow simply because of the stories that we keep telling ourselves. And we think it's the world that is keeping us stagnant. But truthfully, we are the ones keeping ourselves in that perpetual state of suffering, in that perpetual state of pain, in that perpetual state of negativity. We are the ones keeping ourselves stagnant, right? You have to understand that change, it begins with a choice. A very uncomfortable choice, right? But it does begin with a choice. I had to sort of, as painful as it was, right? And this is just my experience, but for me, I've always said one of the things that I struggled with for so long was my comfort zone, right? I think for me, that has always been my biggest struggle in life. I kept myself in my comfort zone. So one of the things I really had to say to myself that I was going to let go of this year or in this new stage of my life was that I was going to let go of my need to seek comfort. I was going to let go of my need to stay in the known, right? And don't get me wrong, when I made that decision, I knew that it was going to be a very uncomfortable thing. I think that one of the hardest things for us to do in life is to truly let go of what is known to us. Because even when those things that we hold on to keep us stagnant and keep us in a state of suffering, because we've sort of formulated an identity from them, right? We formulated an identity from the toxic relationships in our lives, from the old negative patterns, negative identities, right? We've made them so much of who we are. Letting go of them can sort of feel like you're losing part of yourself initially, right? And so for a lot of us, holding on to, those known things, even when they cause us to suffer, it might seem as if it's better than stepping into the unknown because we've sort of held onto them for so long, right? So it is a very uncomfortable thing to change, which is why a lot of us in this world, we find change to be such a horrible thing. You can see a person that is in a relationship who is, being verbally abused, being physically abused, emotionally abused, so on and so forth, right? And you might think to yourself, why is this person still here? Why is this person with that person even when it's causing them to wake up, in pain and causing them to suffer every single day? But you have to understand that in their minds, they've sort of made this person a part of their identity. In their minds, they've sort of made this person their whole entire world. So to them, letting go of that person and stepping into the unknown is a very uncomfortable thing, right? So letting go is always hard. But you have to understand that the magic of life, the beauty of life, always lies in the unknown, always lies in the undiscovered, always lies where we're so afraid, at least initially, to venture. That's where the magic of life lies. And you can make all the plans that you want. You can set all the goals that you want. But if you keep holding on to what no longer serves you, all of that progress, like I said before, is going to be meaningless, right? Old bricks, they don't build new houses, right? You can't get to a different destination by taking the same route. You're going to end up at the same place that you're trying to escape from by holding on to what no longer serves you, right? So you have to look at your life right now. Really look at your life and be honest with yourself. Look at the things that you're holding on to, the things that no longer serve you, the things that are preventing you from healing, the things that are preventing you from growing, the things that are preventing you from stepping into the new you. You have to look at those things, and you really have to say to them, it is time to let go. I am letting go from me. I am letting go so I can heal. I am letting go so I can grow. Right? You can't keep holding on and trying to build on what it has kept you stagnant. You can't do that. Right? We don't even realize this, but when it comes on to growth in life, it requires us to lose and to let go just as much as it requires us to gain, right? It is sort of a, what you want to call it, a polarity, if you want to use that word, right? But growth requires us to let go and to lose just as much as it requires us to gain, right? You need both in life. And in order for new things to come into your life, in order for new people to step into your life, you must let go of what no longer serves you. And I'm saying this as someone who had to say that to myself recently, right? I had to be real honest with myself. And I know that this stage of my life that I'm going into, making the decision to change is going to be very uncomfortable. But I know deep in my heart, that's where the version of me, right? That is the version of me that is healed. That is the version of me that truly, fully, completely loves and embodies himself. That is the version of me that is super confident. That is the version of me that is sort of where I desire to be lies. It lies on the other side of not only the things that I'm willing to gain, but the things that I'm willing to let go of. And I'm willing to face the discomfort if it means that I'm able to step into that version of myself. And you have to sort of make that commitment to yourself as well. You have to make the commitment that you're willing to face the discomfort. You're willing to face the unknown in order for you to truly become the person that you truly want to become. Right? So truly look at your life. Look at where you are. Appreciate the progress that you've made. Don't undermine the progress that you've made, right? Truly appreciate it. right? And keep your goals, keep your dreams, keep all the things that you're endeavoring to achieve, keep them, right, in the back of your mind as well. But never sort of disregard what is it in your life that you know you need to let go of, right? Really reflect, observe all the things that you truly need to let go. Because if you don't let go of those things that are keeping you stuck, then no matter what it is that you achieve, no matter what it is that you gain, you're going to keep yourself stagnant. You're going to keep yourself in a perpetual state of not only hating yourself, but feeling stagnant in your life. So self-reflect, introspect, and see all the things, all the negative things that you truly need to let go of. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here with me. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings.